Okay, so welcome everybody to my really short, well, not that short, but short Facebook Live, and which I'm also recording for other places. And today, basically, I just got inspired to really share about the unbalanced emotion of anger because it seems to be popping up everywhere. A lot of people who are spiritual or they believe in synchronicity. My teacher, Dr. Master Jigong Shah, he just released another practice to transform anger. And then in my mailbox, the thoughts of the day, 2 days in a row, or maybe even three actually, it was about anger. There's also a war going on. There's two wars going on. There are other like little like tribal wars and other wars that we don't really hear about, or little fights, battles, this and that going on as well. And it kind of all stems from that really negative emotion of anger, of ego. And it is one of those emotions that today in today's world, everybody thinks it's kind of normal. And we even kind of like make fun of it, uh, with like road rage, or sometimes we normalize it. And that in itself is an issue because we're normalizing something that actually can really, really hurt our physical bodies. It can hurt our relationships. It can hurt our mental well being, our emotional well being. Yeah, there is no wins when it comes to anger. So my name is Hina Adwani. I am an optometrist. Right now, I live in London, United Kingdom. I've trained in the United States. I've had practices in the Caribbean. I now practice in the United Kingdom. So I've been in multiple national or nations, countries, and I've noticed the difference in the culture, my patient base, and it's been a really interesting experience working in different places, working with different um, patient bases, demographics, and all that. I'm also a Tao Calligraphy Level 1 teacher and holder, which is one of the healing modalities created by Dr. Master Ji Gong Shao, who's my teacher. And like I mentioned before, he just put out, he just released a really important Dao song, Touch the Button, for calligraphy for healing and transforming anger, now transforming anger. So, why don't we get into why it is so important to heal this really destructive emotion? And so I just prepared a very simple outline PowerPoint presentation. So I'm just going to show it here. So the importance of transforming anger, effective ways to dissipate anger. And Soul Blossoms London is the name of my Tao Calligraphy Transformative Field in London. So the importance of transforming anger, I think all of us can agree that anger is not a very comfortable or pleasant emotion when we're experiencing it. And from no matter where it we think it comes from, traffic, road rage, your partner, your child, your parent, we think it's whatever's that initial trigger that stimulates anger, that really negative emotion of anger in us. It's not a pleasant feeling. And I keep emphasizing it is really negative because you will see the effects it has on our bodies, on our physical bodies. Now, first, I'm going to go through what modern medicine says. Now, this is something that has been studied, and it's been studied in like Harvard by medical doctors, by researchers, research scientists. So this is all what right now modern medicine says about anger. And there's many more, but I found the top 7 basically, which I mean, that's more than enough. I think even 5 would have been sufficient to convince you to really work on transforming that anger. So, number 1, an angry outburst puts your heart at great risk. Now, Chris Aiken, MD, who is an instructor in clinical psychiatry at Wake Forest University School of Medicine, he found this in his study. In the 2 hours after an angry outburst, the chance of having a heart attack doubles. So this is definitely, I mean, this is like a really important and big statement, because a lot of us do not associate anger with physical issues. There are some cultures, like in my culture, I'm Indian, we do say that anger can have really ill effects on the body. And in this one, it says, your risk of heart attack doubles just after an angry outburst. And is it worth it? Is it worth having that angry outburst, which within maybe an hour, you're not even going to feel the same way? Hopefully, if you feel the same way, you're in real trouble after an hour. But emotions, they come and go. They're like clouds in the sky. And just from that brief moment of an angry outburst, the risk of heart attack doubles. That is a really important statement to just absorb in your consciousness. Now, number 2, anger ups your stroke risk. So if you're prone to lashing out, beware. One study found there was a 3 times higher risk of having a stroke from a blood clot to the brain or bleeding within the brain during the 2 hours after an angry outburst. For people with an aneurysm, which is a bleed in the brain, in one of the brain's arteries, there was 6 times higher risk of rupturing this aneurysm following an angry outburst. So, 1, it doubles your risk of a heart attack if you have an outburst, and it increases your stroke risk 3 times. And if you have a brain condition, it's even worse. You're even at a higher risk of really harming yourself. So number 3, it weakens your immune system. If you're mad all the time, you just might find yourself feeling sick more often. In one study, Harvard University scientists found that in healthy people, simply recalling an angry experience from their past caused a 6-hour dip in their antibody immunoglobulin levels A, the cell's first line of defense in an infection. Now, this is not even in the present moment. It's when you are ruminating or holding on to a situation and experience in the past that made you angry. So if you're still ruminating or thinking about that time that your partner cheated on you, or you got in a car accident, or someone took advantage of you, stole money from you. 2 weeks ago, my phone was stolen, and because I've been doing these practices for so long, it was a real test to see my response. I didn't go into victimization. I didn't go into anger. I just kind of went into action mode, ran to the Apple store, deleted all my information, and I just kind of went to the police and gave them got what I needed to do. And then you just have to let it go, because you can't hang on to that. So if you find yourself constantly angry about the same situation, you have to be very careful. And our brains are very, very intelligent. So even if you're actually not experiencing an event at this moment, but you're just remembering an event that happened last year, 10 years ago, whenever, the body will react as if it's happening in the moment. So if you continuously think about that unpleasant situation, it's not like, okay, one time it had that effect on my body. The brain will recognize it as it's happening right now. And the same bodily mechanisms in our nervous system will start secreting those hormones, the ones that we don't want in our bloodstream all the time, because it really ages our body. it will continue to age our body over and over and over again when we're recalling that negative experience that caused, especially anger, because of the hormones that are released when we're angry or when we're fearful. So those are stimulants in our blood supply that we don't want just going freely and constantly, because it does wear our body, it ages our body. And as you can see, it decreases our immunity. We learned that it also increases our risk of cardiac issues and stroke. So and that's a good trick about the brain too. So if you want to create positive experiences for yourself and you remember happy moments or positive moments, then those hormones like the endorphins and the oxytocin and the relaxing hormones the brain will act as if it's happening right then, and you will have that physical reaction to it. You can do a quick experiment right now and just smile and see how you feel. Even if you have nothing to smile about, just try it, smile and see how you feel. And you may be pleasantly surprised that your heart actually feels lighter. You feel better just by doing that physical action. So there's always a feedback mechanism between what we're thinking and our actual actions. One can affect the other. So number 4, anger problems can make your anxiety worse. So as you can see here, in 2012, a study published in the journal Cognitive Behavior Therapy, researchers found that anger can exacerbate symptoms of generalized anxiety disorder, a condition characterized by an excessive and uncontrollable worry that interferes with the person's daily life. Not only were higher levels of anger found in people with GAD, but hostility, along with internalized unexpressed anger in particular, contributed greatly to the severity of the GAD symptoms. Now, when it says internalized unexpressed anger, in Master Sha's wisdom, that would be also termed yin anger, like YIN, yin anger. The physical outbursts would be classified as yang anger, YANG, yang anger. So that's that yin and yang, like that balance. So even yin anger, even if you're not having emotional outbursts, but you're internalizing it, you are still damaging your body. Just like I said before, our brains don't recognize if it's actually physically happening in front of us. But if we're ruminating or we're thinking about it, our body will react to it. So even if we're not outwardly like saying anything, but inside we're yelling at the person. And I think we all have had that experience where in our heads, we're like yelling. That's yin anger, and that is still hurting and harming our bodies. So number 1, yang anger outburst doubles your risk of a heart attack, triples your risk of a stroke, anxiety disorder. It can cause anxiety disorder for the yin or internalized anger, and it decreases your immune system. So already those are 4 issues physically and emotionally that we see in these studies. And again, these are studies. This is modern medicine. So number 5, anger is also linked to depression. Numerous studies have linked depression with aggression and angry outbursts, especially in men. In depression, passive anger, where you ruminate about it but never take action, is common. This is from the same psychiatrist who did the first study, number 1, in Wake Forest University. His number 1 piece of advice for someone struggling with depression mixed with anger is to get busy and stop thinking so much. Now, that would be great advice, except it is not easy to stop thinking. So this is why we have so many adults in the United States and in many Western countries that have depression, because we are actually really comfortable. There are many things that are automated, or we have many comforts that we don't have to do, that in Far Eastern nations, they still have to physically like go get water, or they'll have to do things that right now we just have at a tip of our fingers. So we have more time to sit there and think and ruminate, which is obviously not that great for us. Also not that great for our physical bodies. So anger is also linked to depression, another issue in well-being. Number 6, hostility can hurt your lungs. Not a smoker, you could still be hurting your lungs if you're a perpetually angry, hostile person. A group of Harvard University scientists studied 670 men over 8 years using a hostility scale scoring method to measure anger levels and assess any changes in the men's lung function. When they tested the men's lung function, it's the men who were more angry actually scored lower levels of lung function. So they were actually getting their lungs deteriorated because of this emotion. So we go from, again, not only emotional issues, and anger is an emotional mental issue, it hurts our lungs, it hurts our heart, it can cause a stroke, and it causes other issues like worry and depression. Okay, and again, these are the ones that have studies in them. There's more effects. And number 7, anger can shorten your life. Is it really true that happy people live longer? Stress is very tightly linked to general health. If you're stressed and angry, you'll shorten your lifespan. A University of Michigan study done over a 17-year period found that couples who hold in their anger, again, yin anger, have a shorter lifespan than those who readily say when they're mad. Now, that doesn't mean yang anger, the outburst, are better than yin anger, where we hold it in. When we say that we're readily mad, that means, or angry, that means we're expressing it, but we need to express it in constructive and appropriate ways. So as you can see, it literally, anger can shorten your life, which makes sense because you double your risk of a heart attack, you triple your risk of having a stroke, you can get anxiety disorders, depression disorders, it can hurt your lungs, decreases your immunity, and actually even shorten your life, which many spiritual masters and teachers, they say it in different ways, but this is what modern medicine says, this is what studies say, this has been measured, this has been studied, and this is what has been found. Now, what does modern medicine say about anger as far as the solutions? So, number 1, therapy. Number 2, express constructive anger in appropriate ways. Walk away, stop thinking, do an exercise like golf or knitting to focus on the present. So these are just coping mechanisms. I really wouldn't call it solutions, but this is what modern medicine so far has to deal with anger. And again, these are coping mechanisms. Actually, I mean, unless you can actually stop thinking, which many people cannot stop thinking. So I don't know why they would make it sound like it's a possibility because it's hard to just stop thinking. But you can take a pause, like when you walk away, you can take a pause, you can breathe deep. And this is also what they say to do. You can start breathing deep, focusing on your body, and just working with that emotion to transform it. Now, is anger the root or the consequence? So a lot of the times we will think, okay, someone else made me angry, or the situation or the event made me angry. And that's why we are limited when it comes to solving this issue for a lot of humanity right now, because many people don't really know why we get angry. Where is it coming from? And because of our limited perspective, we keep going in a cycle and trying to put band-aids on it or coping mechanisms. But how do we actually fix it? Is there a way to treat it? Is there a way to really just get rid of anger? So TCM, which is traditional Chinese medicine, says anger can harm the liver, the wood, which is the wood element. In traditional Chinese medicine, there's 5 elements. There's wood, which is a wood, fire, earth, metal, and water. So associated with the wood element is also the gallbladder, the eyes, tendons, and the balancing emotion is patience. The unbalanced emotion is anger, which is why it can harm the liver. And it is the same thing when it comes to that physical feedback mechanism, because the root can be either in the liver or it could be in the anger. It could be in the emotion of anger in our emotional body. And we will see effects like in our nails, also in tendons, eyes, gallbladder. So Dr. and Master Shah's system works on a root level, the causative agent of anger, which is negative information. Why do we get angry? Because we have the information of anger in our fields. We have it imprinted in our information fields, which is where everything that we experience in our physical life comes from. Someone who is different may not get angry or be bothered at the same things you are. Why is that? Or it could even be someone in your own family, your own sister, brother. It bothers you and they couldn't care less. So it's in your information field. If something is bothering you, it's resonating with something in you. And what is that something? It's negative information. Now, transforming negative information to positive information in this specific aspect will increase patience and decrease anger, and thereby the physical associations of unbalanced anger. So we can either cope with the emotion of anger, or we can spend our time and work on the root level, where we are slowly transforming that negative information that resonates with the association of anger into positive information, which resonates and associates with the quality of patience. I know what I would want to do. So let's do a really quick practice. This is from the book by Dr. and Master Jigong Shah, Tao Calligraphy Healing Field. In this book, which I'll show you when I decrease my PowerPoint slide, it has a QR code where you can go and it'll have the animation for you. So just to keep it simple, let's do a really quick, let me time it, like a 5-minute practice. And you can do this practice on your own. And you can repeat the practice, because if you have issues in your liver, gallbladder, eyes, tendons, nails, and the issue of anger, then please do this as much as you can. So the mantra for transforming anger is Shu, which is associated with the liver. And for this, you just sit up straight. You can close your eyes, breathe deep. You can put one hand on your navel, your other hand on your liver on the right side of your abdomen, and continue to breathe deep. And basically, we're going to do the practice in the Tao Calligraphy Healing Field book. And you just take a nice deep breath in. And as you breathe out, you just say Shu. And we will do this 7 times. So deep breath. Shu. Deep breath. Shu. Just visualize golden light in your liver. Take another nice deep breath. Shu. 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 Just one time silently, nice deep breath. Now we will go on to step number 2. Keep your eyes closed. And this time we will just say shu 3 times. See if you notice any vibrations or any movement. See how you feel in your liver region. So let's do step number 2, where we say shu 3 times and we go for 4 rounds. Shu, shu, shu. Continue to visualize golden light where your liver would be in the right side of your abdomen. Breathe deep. Shu, shu, shu. You can visualize a golden light ball spinning, or just visualize golden light to keep it simple. Deep breath. Shu, shu, shu. One more time. Deep breath. Shu, shu, shu. Now we will go to step 3, which is more of a song. And this one, the energy will be moving throughout our entire torso. So if you get the book, you can see the animation, but for now, we'll just continue to visualize golden light. And you can just sing along with me. We will do this 4 rounds as well. Let's take a nice deep breath. Shuya, 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 yo. Shuya, shuya, yo. Shuya, 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 yo. Shuya, 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 yo. Take a nice deep breath. Round number 2. Shuya, 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 yo. Shuya, shuya, yo. Shuya, 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 yo. Shuya, 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 yo. Continue to see if you feel any vibrations. Round number 3, take a nice deep breath. Shuya, 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 yo. Shuya, shuya, yo. Shuya, 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 yo. Shuya, 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 yo. A nice deep breath. This will be round number 4. And this time we will do it silently. Shuya. I'm just going to sing lightly, but you do it silently. Shuya, shuya, yo. Shuya, shuya, yo. Shuya, 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 yo. Shuya, 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 yo. Take a nice deep breath and gently exhale. Take 2 more nice deep inhalations all the way to the bottom of your torso. And breathe out. Take another nice deep breath. And breathe out. And whenever you're ready, you can open your eyes. And again, this practice is in Master Sha's Tao Calligraphy Healing Field book, which I'll show you once I take down this slide. Now, recently I said that Master Shug just released a new Tao song, Touch the Button, for healing and transforming anger. Now, this practice is very good. You can get the book, you can follow the animations, which is amazing. Or if you just want to try it out, here's the mantra. I showed you the practice and how to do it. And you just keep repeating it for at least 15 minutes a day. And if you have chronic anger, like 2 hours a day, but at least do 15 minutes and see how you feel. If you are like me and you like things all in one place and clear and easy to follow, I would get this new Touch the Button, which is for transforming anger. So again, anger, it's based in the liver, or it's connected to the liver, the gallbladder, eyes, tendons, nails. And it is an emotion that modern medicine has shown physically harms our bodies. So the Tao song for transforming anger is just released and it is powerful. And I'll put in the link in the chat. Let me just end the show. So, okay. So basically, what have you learned about anger? Okay, modern medicine has shown it doubles your risk after an outward, a yang emotional outburst. It doubles your risk of having a heart attack. It triples your risk of having a stroke. It decreases your immune system. It can cause or even be confused with depression, with worry and anxiety, and it can also shorten your life. So these are things that modern medicine in studies, scientific studies at Harvard University, Michigan State University, Wake Forest University, by medical doctors, psychiatrists, and more they have found this. So even though maybe it's not like perfectly aligned with, okay, they didn't find any liver issues. I mean, it basically hurting your heart, your lungs, your mental well-being, causing worry, anxiety, and depression. And it can literally shorten your life. I think at least the physical association is proven at this point. This is the book that I was speaking about for Tao Calligraphy Healing Field, where the practice we did was, and again, you have the QR code, which brings you to an animation where you can practice. And it has a lot of other information in here with other conditions, other emotional conditions. And it is really amazing. So this book has the QR code and you can find all the different informations, the practices. It makes it really, really easy. There's a lot of information in this book. So I would definitely get it. Like, this book will keep you healthy, rejuvenated, living a long time. If not, you have the option of working specifically on the emotion of anger to transform it. Recently, just this past Sunday, I was on the road and there was a bicyclist, because there's like tons of cyclists in London, and the cyclist got close to a car, and the driver in the car got enraged because he was so close to his car. He got out of his car, yelled at him, and it was just a whole crazy situation. And the thing is when we get into that mode where we're so angry, we just get triggered so quickly. We're not thinking in mental clarity, because anything could have happened. There could have been an accident. The person could have gotten hurt. The bicyclist could have had a weapon. There's so many crazy things happening in the world today. And this happened right in front of me. And was it pleasant for me to even be in that space? No. But it is something that we do have to address in the world today. You may think that you do not have any anger, but with the balancing emotion of being patient, you just ask yourself, does something make me impatient? Like, what do I not like waiting for? Or even if you feel something as mild as impatience and you're not yelling or having angry outbursts, it is still a level of that root emotion of anger. So we need to continuously work on dissipating this. Now, in my experience, where on Sunday this happened in front of me, it made me uncomfortable. So there's something in my information field that resonated with that situation. Otherwise, I wouldn't have been there. So then that also gives me a clue that yes, I need to work on this, because if anger's around me and I'm noticing it's in my physical experience, then something in my field is resonating with it. Because if it wasn't, it wouldn't be in my experience. Now, if you think maybe you don't get angry, which is awesome, I thought I was there as well. But on a macroscopic level, because humanity is we're all connected, there is a collective consciousness. Right now, there's two major and intense wars going on. And I'm sure most of us know about it. Now, if most of us know about this, which is information with the war that is happening, two wars that are happening, that means there's something in us that's resonating with that. Otherwise, we would be that cute little kid in kindergarten who has no clue what a war is, let alone two of them are happening, and many others that we don't know about because we don't live in those areas and we just don't know. We don't get the news, we don't get the information. But this is something to really think about. And when you work on your own health, when you work on your mental and emotional well-being, you are helping the collective human consciousness raise the level. Now, to go on a more spiritual type of perspective, I was saying earlier that there are many spiritual teachers who talk about the real catastrophic effects of anger, which is true because we're seeing the chaos around us. We see the chaos even in our own bodies, like the modern medicine, the studies had shown. So even though you may not think you experience anger, almost all of us do. So it's better to take care of this emotion and dissipate it, transform it. Because if we don't transform it and we just either ignore it or we just push it down to our subconscious, it will manifest in our either physical bodies or in our relationships. It'll affect our mental and emotional well-being. Even if we don't realize it, it sneaks up on us. Just like years of not exercising will kind of sneak up on us in either health conditions or just accumulation of fat, because we need to keep our bodies moving. So anger, it is not just something that is an emotion that just it doesn't affect our physical being. It does. It all comes down to our physical levels. We have a physical body, we have an emotional body, a mental body, and then we have our spiritual body. And the information will, if it's in our bodies, in any of these levels, we need to transform it. So please find out more. I'll put the link for Dao Song Touch the Button, or this book right here, which is amazing. So I thank you so much. And once again, my name is Dr. Hina Adwani from London, United Kingdom. And my Tao Calligraphy Healing Field Level 1, which is called Soul Blossoms London. If there's any aspect in your life you are trying to improve, transform, or challenge that you need help with, please get in touch with me. I will be more than happy to help you, because I am a Tao Calligraphy Field teacher. So I definitely have many tools. So just get in touch with me, ask me, and I will be more than happy to help you. Thank you, and see you next time.